If you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Grey Knights 10th Edition Codex Winners and Losers. The Grey Knights 10th Edition Codex reviews are out now. As a smaller channel, we did not have any early access to the Codex. Instead of trying to play catch up with the Codex review, I want to move on to more in-depth videos for the new Grey Knights Codex. We will do our typical detachment overviews with example lists. I want to wait until the official Codex points are out first before we start those. For now, I want to do a winners and losers for the datasheets in the Codex. Drago is gone. That hurts, there's no doubt about that. I want to focus more on the positives with the Grey Knights, the same as we are with the Custodes. That being said, we will have 5 winners while only having 3 losers, keeping things positive. We will start with the 5 winners first. The first winner is the Brother Captain. He keeps the same stat line of movement 5, toughness 5 with a 2-up save in a 4+ invulnerable, 6 wounds, a leadership of 6+, and an OC of 1. He can either equip the Incinerator, Silencer, Side Cannon, or the Stormbolter with the Nemesis Force weapon as the melee weapon. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gate of Infinity, Hammer Hand, and Eye of Judgment. Gate of Infinity is the old teleport assault rule. The one allows us to teleport around the board. Then we have Hammer Hand. While this model is leading a unit, melee weapons equipped by models in that unit have the lethal hits ability. Eye of Judgment, each time this model makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. The Brother Captain has become one of our better leaders to join either the Brotherhood Terminators or the much improved Paladin squad. The Brotherhood Terminators now have an ability to add +1 AP to their melee weapons when attacking non-vehicle and monster units. The Brother Captain adds lethal hits to the Terminators or Paladins, allowing them to threaten vehicle or monster units. You don't have to have made a charge roll that turn to use these are just always on now. Our next winner is Grandmaster Voldus, movement 5, toughness 5, a 2-up save with a 4+ invulnerable, 7 wounds, 6 leadership, and an OC of 1. He does have a new improved psychic attack, Searing Purity, 12-inch range, D3 +1 attacks, hitting on a 2, strength 12, AP 2, damage 2 with devastating wounds. 24-inch range, 2 attacks, hitting on a 2+, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1 with rapid fire 2. For his melee weapon, we have the Malleus Argrium, 5 attacks, hitting on a 2+, strength 10, AP 2, damage 3. Voldus can lead either the Terminator squad or the Paladin squad. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gates of Infinity, Sanctuary, and Hammer of Flame. Sanctuary, while this model is leading a unit, each time an attack targets that unit, -1 to the hit roll. Hammer of Flame, each time this model unit is selected to fight, you can select one enemy unit with an engagement range of this model's unit, roll 1d6. On a 2 to a 3, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. On a 4 or 5, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a roll of 6, that unit suffers d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. No Drago anymore, so what can Voldus do for us? He can add some much needed survivability to his unit with that -1 to the hit that is in shooting or the fight phase. Throw out some mortal wounds to a unit with an engagement range. He has one of our high strength infantry attacks with his Searing Purity ranged attack, strength 12, AP 2, damage 2, an AP 2, damage 3 melee weapon. He won't get the damage buff from the Paladin squad ability. I can still see Voldus with a big brick of Paladins being a menace on the table. For our next winner, we have the Paladin squad. Movement 5, toughness 5, 2-up save with a 4+ invulnerable, 3 wounds, 6 leadership, and an OC of 1. For the ranged weapons, we can either have the Incinerator, Silencer, Side Cannon, or the Stormbolter. The big change with this unit is we can now equip the Apothecary's Nartheseum, allowing us to bring back a model to the unit every one of our command phases. We can now also take these in a unit of 4, 5, 8, or 10 models. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gate of Infinity, and Attuned Onslaught. Attuned Onslaught makes these Paladins very scary. Until the end of the turn, add 1 to the damage of melee weapons equipped by Paladin squad models in this unit. This might be my number 1 datasheet from the new Codex. It is either the Paladin squad or the Purifier squad. Either Terminators or Paladin squads can be taken in 4, 5, 8, or 10 model units now. At least 5 seems to be the sweet spot for Paladins, allowing them to equip 3 heavy weapons in the units. Agent can carry the banner and a heavy weapon, then you can also equip 2 heavy weapons per 5 models in a unit. Even better now, they can bring that Narthasium to the unit. We now have Zombie Paladins. I saved the best for last, that damage 3 when they have charged that turn. And yes, that does mean we could Heroically Intervene for 1 CP and get this ability. Heroic Intervene says you don't get the charge bonus, and the charge bonus is the fight's first bonus. It doesn't stop any of your abilities that you get when you charge. The Paladins do lose their -1 to the wound roll ability. I will gladly take this new datasheet though. We still have the overall problem of army-wide strength 6 on our Nemesis Force weapons. Damage 3 will make every successful wound and failed save into elite infantry and vehicle monster units a real threat to our opponent. Next up is the Purifier squad. These have stayed mostly the same with a movement of 6, toughness 4, 2-up save with 2 wounds, 6 leadership, and an OC of 1. For every 5 models, 2 of the Stormbolters can be switched for 2 of these heavy weapons, either the Incinerator, Silencer, or the Psi Cannon. We also have the Purifying Flame Psychic ability. It is anti-infantry 2 and ignores cover, 18-inch range, 1 attack, hitting on a 3+, strength 4, AP 2 now instead of AP 1, and damage 1. For our melee weapons, we have the Nemesis Force weapon and the Close Combat weapon. For every heavy weapon we have to switch the Nemesis Force weapon with the Close Combat weapon. There's a lot of different ways we can equip these Purifiers. Unlike the Terminator and Paladins, we do have the grenade keywords on the Purifiers, Strike Squad, or the Purgation Squad. Now let's look at the Purifier abilities. The Purifier Squad abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gate of Infinity, and Sanctity of Purpose. Sanctity of Purpose is a huge buff. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll wounds of 1. If the target is within range of an objective marker, you can reroll the wound roll instead. These were already great in the Warpbane Task Force. One of our better units just got even better. AP2 on the Purifying Flame attack. Crow still adds 1 to the total shots when he's leading a 10-man Purifier unit. Crow still adds 1 to the total amount of shots to a Purifying Flame. When he's leading a 10-man Purifier unit, that will be 24 Purifying Flame shots, including Crow's 4, hitting on a 3+, while Crow is hitting on a 2+. That is 24 shots, strength 4, AP2, damage 1, with anti-infantry 2 and ignores cover. Then reroll wounds of 1 or the wound roll if the target is within range of an objective. Add all the Stormbolters and the heavy weapons. This unit is going to terrorize enemy infantry units. These should be insane in Warpbane Task Force, where you'll be rerolling your hits and most likely rerolling a lot of your wounds, since we'll be using these to clear objectives. We have ways to reroll the hit rolls of 1 or the hit roll in our 6 different detachments. Lots of wound rerolls with Sanctity of Purpose, which does work in the shooting or the fight phase. These are going to be very scary in the game. We will be able to reliably get rerolls for days on these Purifiers. I can see these slowly going up in points price over time. I hope not too expensive though. They have so much potential in the Codex. I want us to have a few of those units who can really be the backbone of our small model range. Go out and purify your enemies. Our next winner is the Venerable Dreadnought. A movement of 8, toughness of 9, 2-up save, 8 wounds, 6+ leadership, and an OC of 3. For the ranged weapons, you can either have one of the heavy weapons, the assault cannon, the heavy plasma cannon, or the las cannon, along with either the Stormbolter or the heavy flamer. For the melee weapons, we have the Dreadnought combat weapon. For keywords, vehicle, walker, character, psyker, smoke, Imperium, and Venerable Dreadnought. If you notice there, we have characters. That means we can put enhancements on this Dreadnought. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Deadly Demise 1, Gate of Infinity, and Guidance of the Ancients. In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a Grey Knights model from your army makes an attack that targets that unit, add 1 to the hit roll. While we thought this unit would have to be better if being jammed into our new combat patrol, I'm not surprised to see that yes, it is indeed better. It will depend on the points though if we're going to take these in a list though. Either way, this is an improved datasheet. It has gained the character keyword to carry enhancements, and that's not all. It's also got the Deep Strike and Gate of Infinity, so this is a teleporting Dreadnought. Then a good to great buffing rule. It will depend on the list you bring. +1 to hit to our entire army in a shooting phase against one enemy unit hit by one of the Dreadnought shots can be very strong in a Dreadnought heavy list. Once again, it really will depend on the points if we're going to take these in our list though. The datasheet is better, but it will depend on those points. And that's our 5 winners. Let's move on to the 3 losers. On to the 3 losers. Our first loser is the Brotherhood Champion. A movement of 6, toughness of 4, 2-up save with a 4+ invulnerable, 4 wounds, 6+ leadership, and an OC of 1. For the weapons, we have the Stormbolter and the Nemesis Force Weapon. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gate of Infinity, Clarion of Haste. While this model is leading a unit, that unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. Inspiring Exemplar, each time this model destroys an enemy character model in the fight phase, you gain 1 CP, and until the end of the battle, add 1 to the attack of the Nemesis Force Weapons. And if you notice with this, it has to be the model that destroys the enemy character, not the unit, so that does make this much harder to do. This just might be the worst leader in our codex for helping the unit it is attached to. The Brotherhood Champion can join the Strike Squads or the Purgation Squads. He can bring enhancements to those units, which can be useful. It is the fact that he does not have the Scout ability. If we join the Champion to a Strike Squad, that Strike Squad will lose their 6-inch Scout ability. Advance and Charge on the Strike Squads is useful. It could change, but we normally do not use the Strike Squads as our melee damage dealers. No Advance and Shoot means even less help for the Purgation Squad. Why we can't attach these to a Purifier Squad is very confusing. Our next loser is the Brotherhood Chaplain, movement of 5, toughness of 5, 2-up save with a 4+ invulnerable, 5 wounds, leadership of 5+, and an OC of 1. Only 2 weapons with the Chaplain, the Stormbolter and the Crozius melee weapon. The Brotherhood Chaplain can lead either the Terminator Squad or the Paladin Squad. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gate of Infinity, Zealous Path. While this model is leading a unit, you can reroll charges made for that unit, and Litanies of Sanctity. Once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select 1 friendly Grey Knight unit that is battle shocked and within 12 inches of this model. That unit is no longer battle shocked. This is such a strange datasheet. We now have one of the few chaplains who do not give their unit the +1 to the wound roll. Our army rule has stayed mostly the same. We can return units on the table to reserves and then bring them back in 9 inches from the enemy units. A free reroll for that 9-inch charge will be useful. Useful enough to bring a chaplain? I'm not so sure. A once per battle turn off battle shock to a unit within 12 inches is neat, I suppose. Great when it comes up, otherwise useless most of the time. Our final loser is the Purgation Squad. The same profile as the Purifier and the Strike Squad, movement 6, toughness of 4 with a 2-up save, 2 wounds, 6 leadership, and an OC of 1. 4 of your Purgator models can switch their Stormbolters from one of these heavy weapons, either the Incinerator, Silencer, or the Storm. Just like the Purifiers, they also have the Grenade keyword. For the abilities, we have Deep Strike, Gate of Infinity, and Righteous Persecution. In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select 1 enemy unit, excluding monster or vehicle units, hit by 1 or more of those attacks. Until the start of your next turn, that enemy unit is pinned. While the unit is pinned, subtract 2 from that unit's movement and 2 from the charge rolls made by it. For me, it is the ability that puts this in the loser datasheets. It does not work on monster or vehicle units, which is a shame. We do not have a lot of ways to deal with monster or vehicle units. For being the big, scary, heavy weapon squad, this ability feels a bit lackluster. They need that Space Marine Eradicator rule while being brought down to a 5 model max unit. I could be wrong, of course, but they just feel like they need more to be the anti-tank infantry unit. That's our 5 winners and our 3 losers. Let's move on to some final thoughts. I know there are more winners and losers in the Codex. I wanted to point out a few that stuck out to me. What are your winners and losers in the datasheets? Try to keep it positive. I've played through the downs of the on-release Custodes Codex. Personally, I think the Grey Knights Codex looks very fun. Next week, we will have a breakdown of our army rule, how it works, and some of the things we can do with it without detachment support. A beginner's guide, and then later a more advanced guide, including all of the detachment tricks. Subscribe for battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content. Channel members get early access to videos and an invite to the channel Discord. Like always, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.